So you're dealing with a high conflict personality in some kind of litigation setting, and you just want to have it done, and you want to be fair, and you want justice, and you want peace, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on fees. I get it. But here's the thing, that first settlement offer is often a trap. And I'm going to tell you why in this video and what ends up happening throughout the process and how you can actually get to the settlement that you really want to have, right? Welcome. My name is Rebecca Zung. I'm known as the leverage lawyer. And on this channel, I give you lots of ways to gain leverage in high conflict situations when you are dealing with a difficult person on the other side in a legal situation. So by the time your first settlement offer lands on your table, the other side has already made a decision about you. They've decided what you should take or not take. But really, what it's all about is a power play. It's really a control play. Because when you're dealing with a high conflict personality, they don't actually want to settle. They don't actually want to resolve things. What they really want to do is keep control, keep control. And so what I have seen happens in these situations is they give you a settlement offer, and even if you say, yes, I'll take all the things, first of all, it's never fair. It's never something that you would actually even want to take in the first place. It's always got all kinds of crazy things in it. But second of all, it's really, even if you agreed to everything, they're going to come back and change the charms over and over and over again. And the other thing that I see happen is that they will uh, hold you to the provisions in there that you're supposed to be held to, but they're not going to uh, be held to any of the provisions that they themselves came up with, by the way. It's just optional for them. For you, it's going to be mandatory. For them, it's going to be optional. And so it's not really a proposal. It's really just a trap. It's really just a trick to see where you stand, to see if they still have control over you. Okay. And you're going to start to see some other power plays as this starts to unfold. And by the way, if you're brand new here, welcome. And I invite you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel and hit that bell. All right, so I'm going to walk you through exactly how this trap gets built, and then the 5 moves that dismantle it, and the single sentence that will give you the whole thing back. So you're going to want to make sure you watch all the way to the end here. So the first offer is engineered. It's not negotiated. And here's the truth that no one explains to you clearly. It's not really a starting point for a conversation. It's a position. It's a positioning move. It's a let me make a psychological move on you to anchor you low or to rush you so that you don't have time to look into what's actually happening. You don't have time to do discovery, find out what's fair. I mean, I know what happens a lot of times as a lawyer, people will say, is this a fair deal? And I'll be like, I have no idea. I mean, it's just put your finger in the wind and just see, which way the wind blows. I have no idea because if you don't do proper discovery to really get a sense of everything in the universe and the kingdom, to really see what's going on there, then there's no way to know that what you're settling for is fair or not. And I have seen people rush into these settlements and then find out later on that there were these hidden accounts or things that are not disclosed or hidden debt, all kinds of problems arise when people rush into these agreements. But it's really designed to try to shape the outcome, to kind of position that they're going to be the ones in control of the narrative. And honestly, it gives you some read into where they think, their weaknesses are. And they want to know, are there, it's a test. It's really a test. So that's really what the first offer is all about. It's not to actually resolve things fairly. That's clear. Okay. And the thing is that this first offer anchors you on purpose. So there's a documented pattern in every negotiation ever studied, and it's called anchoring. Whatever number enters the room first becomes the reference point that every other number is measured against, even when everyone in the room knows the anchoring is happening, it still works. And that's how deeply the pattern runs. So when the other side opens with a low number, they're not necessarily being cheap. They're setting that anchor. They know that if their small number lands first, your entire sense of what's possible quietly recalibrates downward. Suddenly you feel grateful for anything that climbs even slightly above their opening. You start negotiating from their frame instead of them negotiating from yours. And that's the trap in when you're negotiating. So what you want to do here is the moment you can name that tactic, it stops running you. You don't have to accept their anchor as reality. You can drop your own anchor, grounded in documentation, grounded in supporting information, grounded in patterns, grounded in showing what's actually happening from a place of complete information and fairness. The person who understands anchoring is never trapped by it. They use it to their advantage. Now, the second thing is never accept or react on the spot. Whatever the offer is, your response in the room is the same. Thank you. I will review this and get back to you. That's it. You don't celebrate, you don't flinch, you don't argue, you don't go, what the hell? Why would you think I would even take that? Reaction is data. Every micro expression on your face is telling the other side something about your position. If your face falls, they know their number is low and they hold firm. If your eyes light up, they know they offer too much, they pull back. Every reaction you give is leverage you're handing over for free without meaning to. Composure is the counter move. When you give them nothing to read, then they're the ones sitting in uncertainty, and uncertainty on their side of the table is exactly what helps you create that pressure, which is what you want to create, because that motivates and incentivizes the other side to want to do business with you from a place of fairness, your version of fairness, right? So say the words with a period, not a question mark. Thank you. I will review this and get back to you. Rehearse this sentence if you need to. Neutral face, neutral voice. If they push for a reaction, you just repeat the same sentence. Thank you. As I mentioned, I will review this. I will get back to you. Their pressure has nowhere else to go because you've given them a response. That's it. And if they say by when, I will review it and get back to you. Look at this offer as evidence, not as a demand. Okay? That is one way that you won't be triggered because you're just going to start to observe it. This is just information. This is now information that I have. Don't, feel besmirched or betrayed or hurt or indignant about the type of offer. You're not going to like it. Okay? So just assume that. Just assume that. Read it as not something to be accepted or rejected. It's not, okay? It's revealing what their position is. It's revealing who they are. It's revealing what they believe. It's revealing what they feel. It's revealing how strong they think their own case actually is. A lowball offer with a deadline stapled to it usually means one thing. They don't want you to look too closely. They don't want you to look under the stones. And urgency is what people manufacture when they cannot afford scrutiny. An offer that carefully avoids one specific asset, one account, one issue is telling you exactly where they feel the most exposed. An offer that overpays on something trivial while underpaying on something core is telegraphing they need you distracted. Negotiation is not about what people say. It's very rarely about what people say. It's about what is being revealed in that interaction. And when you read that offer as information and not a demand, You stop responding emotionally and you start responding strategically. You see the position behind the paper. And once you see the position, you know precisely where to apply pressure. So your move before you respond, sit with the offer for at least 24 hours, at least, maybe longer, but identify what is really going on there. What's being emphasized? What's being avoided? What's being rushed? Those together are telling you where your leverage is. All right. Now, if you've already received the first offer, look at it right now with those three signals in mind. What does it emphasize? What's it avoiding? What's it rushing? And drop in the comments where you think you stand right now. Okay, just go ahead and put that in the comments. What signals are you being given right now? Okay, so 3 points down, 2 to go. And number 4 is the one that changes what actually gets said when you come to the table. And here's what most people get wrong. All right, so counter from documented value, not from emotion. So when you go back to counter offer, have your positions ready, patterns built on receipts, numbers, records, correspondence, things that they cannot just wave away. Don't say you always do this. You never do that. You've got to have, you were late 87% of the time on your payments. And here's my proof. Okay, that's where you're coming from strength. Now you're no longer asking, you're presenting. You're presenting a case built on supported documentation. And now they have to explain why their number ignores the facts. That's what leverage looks like. So the move is for every dollar figure, every time they're late, every violation of a contract, know the specifics, specific documentation, specific supported information, and have it, in patterns and percentages and graphs and heat maps and anything that you can do to show your power and the position that you have. And the number thing is, the last point is the power of I will get back to you. The single most powerful sentence in a negotiation is that one. Let me think about it. I will get back to you. It works because it takes the other side's most valuable weapon, urgency, and disarms it completely. The whole architecture of a rushed first offer depends on you answering right away. The moment you refuse to answer now, the deadline loses its teeth. The pressure that they've built has nowhere to go. It also puts you back in control of time, and whoever controls the timeline controls the negotiation. You respond when you are prepared, when you are ready. You come back with your leverage ready to go. You've surrounded them. And you've got option A is the reasonable one, and option B is all the downsides, all the risk, all that pressure. Here's all the things that are going to happen to you. You're going to get exposed. We're going to depose the people you don't want to. We're going to do evaluations, appraisals, whatever it needs to happen. And so I'll get back to you. Practice that sentence out loud until it just feels boring, till it's like just very calm, matter of fact. Okay. Now, everything I just talked to you about, if you have the right tool, you can do this in seconds and not minutes and not hours, not days. And knowing your documented position before you arrive, taking your scattered mess of information, records, everything, and putting it into timelines, patterns, court-ready exhibits before that first offer ever lands. That's exactly what I built Slay AI to do. It's patent pending technology. It's based on my 25 years of trial work, and you can start for free at slaypro.ai right now. Just hit that link in the description, slaypro.ai, and get started for free right now. And the reframe that I want you to look at with every one of these first offers, rather than taking it personally, is it's not a proposal. It's a move. It's a confession. It tells you what the other side believes. Just look at it as information, right? anchoring, composure, reading the evidence, counter with documentation, take a pause every single time. Every single time. And if this helped you, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, you share it with somebody else who needs to see this today, and check and make sure that you've subscribed here. The next video that I want you to watch is how to make a narcissist beg to settle. So go check out that video next. It will show you how to engineer the offer and actually get what you really want. And remember that leverage plus clarity equals freedom. I'm Rebecca Zung, the Leverage Lawyer. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in that next video.